Am I the a-hole for refusing to have kids even though my boyfriend wants them? I never wanted kids, and I made that clear from the beginning. It wasn't a phase or something I'd grow out of. It was a firm decision. My boyfriend, on the other hand, always envisioned a future with a child. For a while, we avoided the topic, enjoying what we had, pretending that love alone would be enough to bridge the gap between us. At first, it was subtle of him making offhand comments about when we have kids or pointing out how cute a toddler was at a restaurant. I'd shake my head and remind him, that's not happening. He'd laugh it off and say, we'll see. Maybe he thought I'd change my mind. Maybe he thought he could change it for me. Then, his family got involved. His mom asked, so, when are you giving me grandbabies? His sister nudged me, saying, you'd make such a great mom. Each time, I politely responded, I'm not having kids. But they waved it away like I just hadn't thought it through. His mom even called me selfish, as if my entire purpose in life was to become a mother. But here's the truth. Women who don't want kids aren't selfish, aren't less of a woman, and aren't immature. Not wanting kids is a choice, not a flaw. Some women just don't want them, and that shouldn't be held against them. Women aren't born just to get married and have babies. Their life, their choice, not what society tells them they should want. Eventually, the jokes turned into real discussions, and those discussions turned into arguments. He told me I was being selfish, that I wasn't even considering his feelings. I can't just give up on something I've always wanted, and I can't force myself into something I've never wanted, I shot back. It became the elephant in the room. Every time we had a good day, I could feel it lingering in the background, waiting to come up again. There was no middle ground, either we had a kid or we didn't. One day, he asked, if you really loved me, wouldn't you at least consider it? That was the moment I knew. He wasn't hearing me. He wasn't accepting that this was a fundamental difference that love alone couldn't fix. I wasn't going to change. Neither was he. So, I made my decision. I loved him, but I loved myself enough to walk away. Staying together meant one of us would have to sacrifice something essential to who we were. And in the end, that wasn't fair to either of us. As I packed my bags, I looked at him and said, I hope you find someone who wants what you want. I just knew that someone wasn't me. So am I the a-hole for refusing to have kids and ending the relationship over it?
Here are the top comments.
Not the a-hole. He wants kids. You don't want kids. That is a fundamental difference in expectations. Ending the relationship now is fair to the both of you, as it gives each the freedom to pursue new relationships with partners with more compatible expectations.
Y'all should have pulled the plug on this much sooner, honestly. She should have ended it moment she said I'm not having kids and he said we'll see. That's someone who is not going to respect your bodily autonomy. These kinds of people are very good at downplaying their own BS and using it to subtly gaslight.